Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about our buys, sells, and dividends for January 7th through January 13th of 2024. Let's get it. So the first thing that we have pulled up here is the M1 Finance chart, but we're not going to start with this. We're instead going to start with Fidelity. So as you guys can see, we do have the HZen grayscale ETF added back. We added at 167, so that's actually a pretty good price in my opinion. If you guys saw our previous video about the updates we did on the grayscale trusts, you guys would see that HZEN is just kind of chopping around. It's not really going up or down. We actually had double this previously, but the reason why we're holding back some capital at this point is because if it drops even further and goes back down to the next major support zone, we want to be able to pick up even more shares for even less money. Again, when prices are cheaper, your purchasing power goes further when it comes to assets. So keep that in mind. So anyways, with that being said, we are down a little bit on HCN. We're still up quite a bit on LTCN. Could we sell for profit in LTCN right now? Yeah, we could. It would actually be our most profitable trade within the last 13 months in terms of a single trade. But again, if we were going to sell, we would have sold at roughly about $18. So pretty much our goal with LTCN is we don't want to sell any of it until it gets to at least $275 to $500 or $275 to $300 a share, and as much as $500 or higher. So we don't plan on selling until then, and we have no intention of buying any either unless it gets below our cost basis, which you guys can see right here is $5.53 a share. So in terms of the buys that we had, you guys can see we placed our order here on, I believe this was Monday. Yep, Monday, January 8th for the HCN Trust. So we got our 599 shares at roughly about $1.65, so not bad. Again, if HCN goes back to all-time highs, you're talking potentially as much as like a 15x. So yeah, 1,000 times a 15x. I mean, that's pretty good. I would not be complaining about that. So with that being said, let's get into the actual dividends. So here we have the M1 Finance portfolio. As you guys can see, there's quite a few. So the week started on the 7th. So we basically got the 9th through the 12th here. So we have NVIDIA paid us 627, RYLD, which is the Global X Russell 2000 covered call ETF, paid us 887. Apple paid us 119, ORC paid us 344, QYLD, that is the S&P version, or sorry, the NASDAQ version, my bad. XYLD is the S&P version. Paid us 504, again from Global X, 305.80 from Tesla. ACP paid us $20.13. Again, we were adding to this position in the previous month, so it's much larger now. We got a penny from Philip Morris. That's basically a tobacco company. These three right here are quarterly paying dividend growth stocks, just so you all know. MPW 586 and Leggett & Platt 577. That total comes out to 362.38, which is right here. So now we'll go on to Robinhood. Sorry for all the ridiculous pop-ups they keep having. This must be some kind of automated thing they do. But you guys can see here on ORC, we got 1476. We go to the next one, which is Tesla. Tesla's been kind of really beat down a lot lately. We're actually considering picking up more shares of Tesla in this ETF at this point because we think $10 is probably a pretty good price. So we got 2783 from Tesla here. And we take a look at Apple. Apple was actually green on the week, whereas Tesla was red. That's quite interesting. So we got 775 from Apple. I shouldn't say green on the week. I mean to say green on the day. That's what I meant to say. Coney had pretty swift pullback. To be honest, that's not really surprising. Again, the spot Bitcoin ETFs, at least in the immediate short term, appears to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. Whether that's going to be an actual sell the news, meaning crypto just kind of dumps until the Bitcoin bull run, we'll just have to wait and see on that. It's a little early to say at this point. But we got 62.68 from Coney. We bought another $10 worth on the 11th. So GUI is another one we've been very slowly adding shares to. So we got $4.37 on GUI. Just so y'all know, my personal opinion about Google is that Google is going to be an outperformer. It's going to outperform or be one of the stocks that outperform among the Magnificent Seven, just in my opinion, this year and next year. Ask me again later why I think that, but I do think that Google is going to be one of the big outperformers in the next couple of years. So AMZ, 447 from AMZ, as you guys can see here. And that covers the dividends on this portfolio. That total comes to $121.86. One other thing before I move further into Robinhood, I forgot to mention this. So we go over here to the trading tab on M1 Finance. You guys can see we only had a couple of trades on the week. So on the 8th, we bought $20 worth of OPP. Again, we're trying to get those monthly payers up to par. And the 12th, which was yesterday, we sold out of NVIDIA for a small profit. That was on this portfolio. That was $4.62. And we bought a little bit of the triple QY since the X date is coming up for that. So now we're going to go down here further and basically take a look at the ones that we bought. So I can tell you guys right off the top of my head that we basically bought BTBT, Cypher, TSLP, and FEPI. We've been talking about the Curve Invest and the Rex shares FEPI ETF for quite some time now, but we did not actually pick up any shares until just recently. So, oh, right. I forgot about the Murney one. So I guess I should actually probably add that here. So 4247 also from Murney. So my bad, guys. Kind of slipped up a little bit there, but it is what it is. Had a lot of transactions going on this week. So we'll add this 4247. Let's make sure I didn't actually double this by accident. Nope, doesn't appear to be so. Okay, so yeah, we also got the Murney dividends as well. Okay, so start here with FEPI at the bottom. So you guys can see that we just started placing orders for FEPI this week. Relatively small amount. We basically just been buying whole shares of TSLP, and then the remainder of what we would allocate daily on a daily basis has been going to FEPI. So you guys can see that we bought basically some shares here. So we currently have 1.73 shares. So if the dividends remain relatively consistent, we should get roughly about $2 a share or so on this next payment date that they're going to have sometime at the end of this month. We'll keep you updated on that. So here's TSLP. This is the Curve Yield Premium Strategy Tesla ETF, or Curve Invest, as we all know it. So you can see my average cost basis is slightly higher. That's okay. It doesn't really matter because if you're bullish on Tesla long term, then it's just a blip in the radar for you. So you guys can see that we basically just bought shares here, as you can see on the share tab. I could be mistaken on this. Yeah, they don't actually. I was pressing the period symbol here, but they don't actually let you buy fractional shares on here. I think it's because the market cap is just too small. There's too low of a liquidity pool for this thing to actually be selling fractional shares. So BTBT would be the next one. This does not pay a dividend, just so you all know. This is a Bitcoin miner stock, so it's considered to be like a growth play or a swing trade, non-dividend paying stock, swing trade or growth play. So we started here on the 3rd, but in terms of this week's purchases, we've purchased a lot, as you guys can see here, quite a bit. I would say in total, roughly about maybe 80 shares worth. So we got 1283 in shares on the 8th, 1256 shares on the 9th, 1321 shares on the 10th, 554 on the 11th, and 1948 on the 12th. The last one that we're going to take a look at on this portfolio is Cypher, which is the Cypher Mining Inc. Again, this is a Bitcoin miner stock. We placed a major order back here on the 3rd, but so far this week, we've only purchased 9.96 shares on the 11th. But keep in mind, the price is down pretty substantially. So I think this upcoming week, BT and Cypher are going to get quite a bit more leaven from us because the prices dipped substantially, and we definitely want to be buying the dip here. So in terms of the Coinbase portfolio, or basically this is a portion of our native crypto portfolio. We haven't really done much with it. We're just kind of sitting on it. We could buy on the dip right now. A lot of these are at a discount again, but again, we want to get the Bitcoin miner stocks before we get anything else. Kind of the rationale behind that is because the spot Bitcoin ETFs just got approved. We already told you all about this. If you didn't see that video, then go back to our homepage, scroll through videos, and look for the one that says our thoughts about the spot Bitcoin ETFs being approved. But a lot of the major players in the space think that Bitcoin could. Well, we've already said that we think that Bitcoin will go somewhere between 100 to 200,000 by the peak of this upcoming bull cycle. But in terms of the following bull cycles, 2029, I would say 2029, 2030, when the bull run after this happens, Bitcoin could be somewhere between $500,000 to $1 million, especially if mass adoption truly takes place and trillions of dollars flow into these spot Bitcoin ETFs. The price could receive quite a shock to the upside. And so Bitcoin being pretty expensive, we decided to go with the Bitcoin miner stocks instead. It's a cheaper alternative. It gives us access to the miners directly. And of course, the miners have to sell Bitcoin for people to buy it and for the price to go up. So that's the reason why we've placed priority over buying altcoins at this time. But again, we will be buying altcoins in the following months. So with that being said, the last one that we have to look at here is the Webull app. So you guys can see the dividends we got paid here on the 9th and the 10th was $26.78 from OARC, $70.11 from NVIDIA, and $7.85 from Apple. And that total comes out to $104.74. Again, there's that $4.62 with the NVIDIA profits. So if we add all those totals up, it comes out to $636.07 for the week. So not too shabby for basically just pretty much doing nothing, just taking profits and collecting dividends. I would say that's pretty good. So anyways, hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.